Valheim, an incredible survival game where you can build Viking villages, sail to the ends of the world, and fight epic enemies. A game with near infinite possibilities and so much to do.
But you are currently being attacked by several enemies and have absolutely no idea how to handle it. But wait, I have a solution. Welcome everyone. In today's video we are going to be discussing fighting multiple enemies at the same time. Specifically, we're going to be talking about weapons that you might want to keep on your person just in case you end up getting swarmed and need a weapon to dig you out of the situation you've gotten yourself into. Now, I tend to keep one weapon for single target fighting, one weapon, a bow, for ranged, and one of these following weapons that have strong AoE capabilities. My personal go-to is the Iron Sledge. If you're earlier in the game, instead of using the Iron Sledge, you will be looking for an item called the Stag Breaker. The Stag Breaker is a weapon that you will discover once you find the material core wood, which comes from chopping down certain trees such as pine in the Black Forest. To craft it, you will need 20 core wood, 5 deer trophies, and 2 leather scraps. This weapon has fantastic AoE capabilities. Every swing not only has a large area of hit, but it has a shock radius that pushes enemies backwards, allowing yourself to gain space and not be counterattacked during the long attack animation. The Iron Sledge that I use is essentially the same thing. The primary difference is that a lot of the materials come from the swamp biome, which currently is the mid-game. The ancient bark comes from the ancient trees found in the swamp. Iron comes from the dungeons that you'll find in the swamp, as well as once you get the wishbone, you'll be able to find iron underneath the swamp. The Ymir flesh, which you can purchase from the merchant with gold, and a Draugr Elite trophy, which comes as a percentage chance to drop from Draugr Elites. The Iron Sledge is a very expensive item, especially for early game. You are most likely going to be using the Stag Breaker for a long time. The Stag Breaker and Iron Sledge both have this same moveset, and it is simply a frontal AoE slam. As you can see after the slam, there is a sort of echo effect, which splashes the damage out to any other enemies that are hit. Be careful though, using this weapon inside of your base, for example, when defending invasions, will cause damage to your base. The next items worth discussing that have some AoE potential are the Atgare, the Mace, and the Sword. These items can be crafted the moment that you discover bronze by mining copper and tin, turning them into bars, and then converting those bars into bronze bars at your forge. The Mace and the Sword are primarily for single target, but they do have a little bit of an arc on their swing where multiple enemies can be hit if they are in close combat. The Atgare is also primarily single target, but it actually has a secondary attack which gives you a circular AoE in a 360-degree motion around your character. Here, you can see that when I do standard swings with the sword, it will hit anything that's in front of me, granted at a short range. The secondary attack, primarily single target. With the Mace, nearly the same situation, primarily the same arc. Secondary attack, again mostly single target. And finally, the Atgare, primary attack is mostly single target, but should you find yourself surrounded by enemies, the secondary attack will send an AoE around you. And finally, I found this little thing called Ooze Bomb. I've actually never used it, and I don't know what it does. I'll be completely honest with you there. But it has bomb in its name, so I'm assuming it's a AoE weapon. So I'm just going to go ahead and include it in this video and find out what it does while recording. How's that sound? Okay, here we go. Let's find out what this thing does. Oh, that's awesome. It is a literal poison ooze bomb. They were not kidding. Let's find something else to throw this at. So it seems like there's no like arc pattern or anything. It's just kind of like guess and check.
Wow, is that cool. Alright, yeah, that one deserves to be on the list. Great way to counter large groups of enemies, just, I guess, throw a bomb. Sick. Alright, that's going to wrap it up. Hope that you guys have a better idea of how to handle those enemy waves that overwhelm you, and what weapons you might want to be keeping on yourself to ensure that you can combat that. Again, I almost always keep the Iron Sledge on me, and before that I kept the Stag Breaker, just because when I have a lot of enemies on me, it can be difficult managing stamina, dodging all of their attacks and everything, and I'm more than willing to eat 1 or 2 hits to get one of these sledges down, get that AoE knockback, and do a lot of damage to people. But hope you guys learned something today, and you'll have some tools to use at your disposal. And don't forget to throw Ooze Bombs at that like button. I'm sorry, that was really cheesy. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Wow, you watched all the way to the end. You madman. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I know normally this is where people say don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring those bells, but I'm going to try using the reverse psychology approach. Don't like, don't subscribe, don't ring that bell. And whatever you do, do not go to Twitch and look up Captain Rob Games.